A member of the National Guard stands guard at Fuerte Tiuna, Venezuela's largest military complex, in Caracas on January 3, 2026, after U.S. forces captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro after launching a large-scale strike on the South American country. Photo by Federico PARRA, AFP. Venezuela's neighbors and allies of its President Nicolas Maduro on Saturday condemned a large-scale U.S. strike on the South American country, as Spain offered to mediate for a peaceful settlement. U.S. President Donald Trump said earlier that U.S. forces had captured Maduro and flown him and his wife out of the country. The Venezuelan government decried what it termed an extremely serious military aggression by Washington and declared a state of emergency as several leaders allied with Caracas denounced the U.S. action. Iran, which has close links with oil-rich Venezuela, said it strongly condemns the U.S. military attack on Venezuela and a flagrant violation of the country's national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Colombian President Gustavo Petro called it an assault on the sovereignty of Latin America, which would lead to a humanitarian crisis. Colombia is a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council this year, and leftist leader Petro called for the body to meet immediately. Cuba Cuba, a traditional regional ally, denounced what it called state terrorism against the brave Venezuelan people, according to a statement by President Miguel Diaz-Canel, who urged a response from the international community following a criminal attack on Caracas. Russia condemned the U.S. military action as an act of armed aggression against Venezuela. This is deeply concerning and condemnable, the Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement. The pretexts used to justify such actions are untenable. Ideological hostility has triumphed over businesslike pragmatism, it added. Spain offered to mediate in the crisis in an attempt to broker a negotiated and peaceful solution. Spain calls for de-escalation and restraint, the Foreign Ministry said in a statement, adding it was ready to help in the search for a democratic, negotiated, and peaceful solution for the country. Germany's Foreign Ministry told AFP that, "We are monitoring the situation in Venezuela very closely and following the latest reports with great concern." The Foreign Ministry is in close contact with the embassy in Caracas. Berlin added that the government's crisis team was in session and, "We are coordinating closely with our partners." Italy. The office of Italy's Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, said she was closely monitoring the situation in Venezuela, remaining in constant contact with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Antonio Tajani, also in order to gather information about our fellow citizens. U.S. Democratic Senators. U.S. Senator Brian Schatz, a Democrat, said on X, "We have no vital national interests in Venezuela to justify war." "We should have learned not to stumble into another stupid adventure by now." Fellow Democrat Senator Ruben Gallego said on X, "This war is illegal. It's embarrassing that we went from the world cop to the world bully in less than 1 year." There is no reason for us to be at war with Venezuela. Former Bolivian leader Morales. Former Bolivian President Evo Morales, a close Caracas ally, said on X he forcefully rejected the U.S. bombardment. AFP